Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and happy Monday snow day. I don't have any numbers for you from last week. It was a slow week, right, because of the holiday. So I'll fold those into next Monday. That'll give us kind of 2 weeks worth of numbers to look at. But one thing, though, I do want to bring up. So I think, as we've been talking about, that we're really in kind of a new economic cycle in many ways, right? Where we've got this, pent up demand, low inventory, low interest rates, high employment, low inflation. These are all dynamics that typically don't kind of coexist with each other historically. So I think we're moving into really kind of the new normal, as I like to call it. I think one of the factors of the new normal, despite our weather conditions today, is that we'll probably see a winter cycle that's going to be driven really more by the economics than it's going to be by the seasonality. And what I mean by that is we have this kind of steady pent-up demand curve that we're dealing with. And pent-up demand tends to be centered in a period of time, and then the demand is met and then it diminishes. And now really, if you think about what we have, it's really kind of the steady pent-up demand. And I think what's going to happen is that we're going to see this winter, it'll still be seasonal, of course, because it's harder to go look at houses on days like today than it is when it's sunny and 70 out. However, I think what you're going to find, though, is that the market will react when new inventory hits. As inventory starts to build this winter, which it typically does, you'll see buyers come out of the woodwork, so to speak, right? And so our market activity will be really based more on the economics, and then slightly less on the seasonality. I think we're still to see that to come to fruition, but I take a look at our pending transactions over the last several weeks, and they're uncharacteristically high. And I think it's really driven around the economics, inventory cycles, and things like that. So this will be a winter, I believe, much different than we've seen in years past, again, because it's driven really more by this steady pent-up demand curve and slightly less on seasonality. So more to come on that, I'm sure. Be aware of that, though. This will not be a winter. And I don't believe going forward, right, winters will be cycles where at a business level we hibernate. Okay, there'll be plenty of business to be done year round now, and especially if you're doing things like the CRM and the Win-in-One program. Okay, kind of a shameless plug for Win-in-One. Let's move on to something else. So I had this experience, and I'm sure some of you have already had this. I bought something on Amazon, and I had to return it. And so when I got my return slip from Amazon, when I printed it off, they sent me to Kohl's to return it. And this was really cool. So I had never done this before. So I go to Kohl's, and I've got my process eyes going, right? Because I'm watching this process about how really consumerism now has become more collaborative. And so here I am with an Amazon return, and I go to Kohl's, and what I get at Kohl's is my return slip for the Amazon product, but I also get a 15% off coupon from anything I buy at Kohl's because I return an Amazon package. And here's two things about this, right? One is that that's collaborative marketing, not competitive marketing, collaboration between Amazon and Kohl's. The other piece to that is that we're entering now the environment and real estate with our partnership with Amazon, where that will be participating at some level in programs similar to this. It'll be vis-a-vis real estate, of course, and we'll have access to consumers that we didn't necessarily readily have access to before, no differently than Kohl's is getting access to consumers vis-a-vis Amazon, the Amazon return process. So it's an interesting dynamic that we're going to be living through. I think obviously there's going to be more to come with it. A lot remains to be seen, but these are truly different times where collaboration and cooperation mean more than competitiveness, okay? So I'm really super excited to have our Amazon relationship turned on so we can see how that develops, and hopefully we'll have more on that after the first of the year. Next, the Spark healthcare program. So the enrollment period ends December 15th. So please, please, please make sure if you need healthcare or any type of benefits, retirement, dental, any of those types of things, make sure you go to that Spark program that BH&G has put on for us and do your enrollment by December 1st. Excuse me, December 15th. See, One in One, we've got 230 people in it, continues to grow. This is about building your database, your CRM. Remember, look at everything in terms of a 12-month earnings cycle, right? So getting your CRM up and running is about establishing a 12-month earnings cycle. And you're not going to have, I don't believe, as I said in my original comments when our video started, you're going to have more favorable economic conditions where seasonality will be less of a factor, okay? So One in One, if you're not in the program, please consider joining. It's an investment in your future. Another really significant update is with our website. Properties in Motion is going to go away, and each listing is now going to be able to get its own website. And Lorraine will provide you with more details on that in this flash report. But each listing now will go from having a YouTube video to having its own website, which is better for search engine optimization. And that's a change that Delta has made for us. Delta's our website partner. And I think that's a good change, and so she'll give you all the details in there, but about that in the flash, we just wanted you to know that. And then lastly, outgoing referrals. We got a little bit of a push on for the end of the year. As of last week, we needed 25. And so great earnings opportunities, right? Each closed outgoing referral on average is about a $1,300 commission. And it's a great way to service your customers, right? Being able to take them and refer them to a broker of similar quality to yourself, right, in their destination location is just a great way to make sure that they're better cared for, okay? So you're all amazing. Have a safe snow day, and we'll see you on the other side. Take care.